What's happening, guys? I know. I'm a disgrace. It's been a minute. I ain't streamed in about 4 days, 5 days. I think Friday was the last time I did a stream. Big up to everyone in the chat. First and foremost, happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, if I'm right. It's Tuesday. And on top of that, a Ramadan Mubarak to everybody observing the month of Ramadan. Day 2 of fasting complete over here on this side of the world. Other parts, time zones, you lot might still be fasting. But I hope you all have a blessed month. I hope you have a good month. Point number three is Arsenal versus Porto has just gone to extra time. So I've got my eye on it, but I'm here to do a stream in it. I'm not here to do a hate along. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm here to talk about Manchester United. But I'm going to keep an eye on, obviously, the Arsenal game. I don't know how they still haven't scored another goal. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how they haven't done it. But, guys, before we get into it, because there has been some Manchester United, I wouldn't say news, but some, paper talk, I guess, if you want to call it that, flying around. Amad Diallo, Jadon Sancho, Antony. It seems like the winger situation at United is just, it's not it. It's not it right now. But I've had a busy couple of days. I've been to 3 football games in 3 days, and I am just exhausted. I've traveled around the country going to different games, and now I'm finally home, which is a good one. But it was nice to go to 3 games, 3 different games, some for leisure, some for work. You guys know what it is. If you follow me on Instagram, then of course you will be fully aware of what I've been up to. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can see it right there, all my socials, same as my YouTube. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Julian. Big up to Riri. Big up to Kadeem, says just finished Tarawih. Tarawih is before we get into the Man United talk, guys, can I just say, yeah, it's just so weird fasting at these hours. Like, fasting, we're opening our fast at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. I'm so used to fasting till 8, 9 p.m. Maybe because obviously summertime, that's the time we used to open our fast. But, Tarawih, where I'm from, Tarawih is finished by 8:30. Like, Tarawih is finished within an hour after Isha prayer. If you're not Muslim, then you're probably thinking, what am I talking about? I'm just talking about the prayers that are done during Ramadan, that are done usually after you open your fast, an hour or so afterwards. So yeah, it's an interesting one anyways. But the Arsenal game have just kicked off, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But like I said, the biggest topic of news, I wouldn't say it's actually the biggest topic of news, but what I've seen discussed the most over the last day, or over the last 24 hours, is Amad Diallo. Now, I went to the Everton game on Saturday. What a flipping snooze fest. That game was a snooze fest. And someone actually messaged me on Twitter to say they saw me on TV when the camera panned to the crowd. And then one of my cousins sent me a video. I just look so awkward. I wish I could I don't have the video on my computer. It's on my phone, but it's just a very awkward one. But that game, honestly, could have put me to sleep. 12:30 kickoffs, and I said it before that game. I said 12:30 kickoffs are the bane of my existence. I just hate 12:30 kickoffs because United just generally don't play well this season. But 12:30 kickoffs, we never play well. We never play well regularly. So combine it with the fact that we ain't been playing well this season, and it was honestly, that game was just, yeah. That game, it was just a boring game. Honestly, it was such a boring game. And where I was sitting, the fans were not happy. I could really feel the frustration in the stadium. It's not been my first game this season, but I could feel the frustration in terms of people getting annoyed that the ball kept going back to the goalie. Like, where I was sitting, people were literally saying, the goal is that way. They were saying, it's that way. It's that way. Like, I found that kind of funny. But Amad Diallo, for me, I was shocked. Well, I wasn't shocked. I'm not going to say, let me not lie and say I was shocked that he didn't get any playing time, because I sat here the day before the game and I said I would be very shocked if Amad Diallo gets any playing time. I feel like it's injustice the way that, and I know injustice might sound like a bit of a dramatic word, but I do think like it's a bit of injustice the way that Amad Diallo has been treated, or just his time at United, especially in the last couple months, especially since coming back from injury. I think it was very unfortunate for him to get injured in the summer. That was very unfortunate. But to come back from injury and get 20-ish minutes combined since, that's very sad. That is very, very sad. And this is a player that didn't go on loan in the January window when he had the opportunity to, because he was told that he was part of the plans at the club. He didn't go to AFCON because he wanted to get integrated into the first team, so get some opportunities in the first team. He didn't go to AFCON. His nation ended up winning AFCON as well as hosting it, but they ended up winning it as well. And he has yet to break into the first team and is behind the pecking order. The likes of Amari Forson, like I said, no disrespect to Amari Forson, and I'm all for academy youngsters getting opportunities in the first team, but is when it's done on an irregular basis. Now, I'm not saying that Amad Diallo is deserving of it, and someone actually asked me, why do a lot of United fans like hype up Amad Diallo when they haven't seen him play? And the way that I see it is, well, I know a lot of people, myself included, I watched him at Sunderland, so I know what sort of player he is, but I will not know the impact that he has in the team until I see him play in the team. And if he's not getting an opportunity to play in the team, how can I say he should stay or he should go? How do we know that he does not offer something different to the likes of Antony or Garnacho? Garnacho, for me, was actually one of the better players against Everton. In front of goal, it was a bit questionable, but in terms of getting to the goal, he won 2 penalties. He was causing problems for Everton. Should have had a goal himself, in my opinion. Could have had 2. But I think with Amad Diallo, I can imagine the frustration he feels, and he wouldn't be the first player to be in this situation. But when you have come as a youngster, like, because the way that I see it is Amad came as a youngster to Manchester United. He didn't come to the first team. He came to the academy. They put him in the academy with the plan of integrating him into the first team. Next season, I think, is his last year. He signed in 2020. The fact that he has less than 5 starts or less than 10 starts at Manchester United since signing in 2020 and then spending a year with the academy, spending a year on loan, is very unfortunate. Can he play in a senior level football? Absolutely. Absolutely, he can play senior level of football because I've seen him do it at Sunderland. But the reason why, and this is, by the way, not me making an excuse for him, I think Erik ten Hag doesn't like him and his style of football, because his style of football is a very technical style. He requires to have impact. He requires to have the ball at his feet. He's good at link-up play. He's good at possession. But I think it's his out of possession work that he lacks in comparison to maybe other players. That is the reason why Erik ten Hag is not giving him an opportunity. Now, this is not me saying that out of possession he can't do anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in comparison to maybe what Garnacho offers or what Antony offers or what Forson offers, it's different. They probably provide Erik ten Hag with the reassurance of their off-the-ball work, out of possession work, which is maybe more reassuring to the manager. I don't know why I'm sitting here making excuses for the manager, because I've been saying it for time. I've been saying for ages, free Amad, free Amad, free Amad. But I'm annoyed for him because it's actually quite... His situation, I think, is actually worse than Zidane Iqbal's one. Zidane Iqbal's situation was a lot different because Zidane Iqbal hadn't even been in the first team. He hadn't even had an opportunity. Zidane Iqbal really did not make any starts of value or play any minutes of value for Manchester United in the senior team. Amad Diallo is in a similar position, but Amad Diallo was brought from Italy to the UK as a young kid. And by the way, that was during the pandemic time. So I remember reading an article recently on The Athletic about when Garnacho came, and him and Garnacho came around the same time. And they had to come over during COVID, move to Manchester, start a whole new life. I can't imagine how difficult it could have been for both of them. And obviously Amad actually I think Amad came from Ivory Coast to Italy by himself anyways. Then he went on to obviously delete his pictures of socials, then deactivate all his socials. And the internet's going to eat that up. One thing about the internet, they will eat up that sort of stuff because it gives people things to talk about. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't tweet about it. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, okay, he deleted his socials. Big whoop-de-doo. Big whoop-de-doo. But it's the fact that people forced him to come out and make a statement on his one social that he kept, which was Snapchat, for him to say that he was focusing on the month of Ramadan. Even had he chosen to delete his pictures off Instagram that was related to Manchester United, I don't know what the big deal is, because at this point he doesn't really owe the club any loyalty, he doesn't owe the manager any loyalty, because the manager has sold him false dreams. The manager has sold him false dreams. There was an article, I can't remember who it was from, but there was an article that said that the manager told him that he is part of his plans. He is part of his plans. And yet since then he hasn't had a start. and I think he's played probably like 12, 13 minutes combined at the most. Big up to Julian, says, I still don't understand what's happening with rotation though. I remember how Facundo was thrown in a match versus Bayern with no prior game time, so I don't understand how it's done. The man for me is Eric Ten Hag's very inconsistent with the way that he talks about opportunities for people, because it's different rules for different people. Kobbie Mainoo, if you lot remember, came back from injury. He played a game, was on the bench for a few games, played again. The manager said he was managing his minutes because of his injury. Okay, cool. Luke Shaw came back from injury, played, 5-6 games in a row, then got injured again. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And I know that people are going to say Luke Shaw is a more seasoned player than Amad Diallo is. He's younger, so his minutes need to be managed, yes. But the whole excuse was that he was coming back from injury. So if players are returning from injury, shouldn't they both be, regardless of how experienced they are, should they not be eased in rather than risking the possibility of another injury? Because what happened with Luke Shaw? He got injured again, and now he's out for the entire season. He's out for the entire season because he played 6-7 games in a row, 90 minutes, after coming back off a couple months out. The manager is quite inconsistent, I think. Eric Ten Hag don't rate him, apparently. The thing is like, Eric Ten Hag rates Antony, so I'll be honest. Does Eric Ten Hag's ratings really mean anything? Does Eric Ten Hag's ratings really have any value? Because he literally rates Antony. Oh, and we're going to talk about Antony, by the way, because there was a great article today on The Athletic about Antony. I hope United sell him in the summer. That's my stance. But I have a feeling, by the way, guys, I have a strong feeling if Eric Ten Hag stays in the summer, Antony's not going anywhere. Antony will not be going anywhere. Big up to MUFC 14 with the super chat. I appreciate it. Says Ramadan Mubarak, Mina, and all those who celebrate it. Big up, Ramadan Mubarak to you too. Hope you have a great month. Let me know what you are having or what you had to break your fast today. I had something nice. I had noodles with chicken. What did I have? Gayuzas. I think that's what it's called. Basically, I had an Oriental meal. I had like homemade Chinese food, which was nice. It wasn't too filling. The best thing to break my fast with, what I like to eat first all the time after dates, is a fruit salad bowl. So a fruit salad bowl, so like watermelon, strawberry, melons, that kind of stuff. Top notch. And I got a cup of tea. Because you have to have a cup of tea. You have to have a cup of tea at all times, especially during Ramadan. And water, because you gotta stay hydrated. Big up to Olumba, says, give Eric Ten Hag time and he will work under a new proper structure. Does everybody actually think that? Do you guys actually think that under a new structure, Eric Ten Hag will work or will be a good man? I don't doubt he's a good manager. I think his man management is a bit questionable. And sometimes that trickles into the players, that trickles into the response that you might get from players on the pitch. I mean, if we think back to Everton's game, I know everyone watched it on TV, but was it as bad as what it was in the stadium? Was it as bad of a performance as what I saw in the stadium? Because for me, I genuinely could not believe what I was seeing. Like, guys, I'm not joking. I genuinely could not believe what I was seeing in that game. It was a proper snooze fest. That game was a proper snooze fest. And I remember seeing, there was a moment, I should have recorded it. There was a moment where Amrabat came on and he came over to the left-hand side and he told Rashford and Bruno to switch. So he told Bruno Bruno was playing false nine. He told Bruno go to the left, Rashford go up top. Bruno got annoyed about it. He just ignored it. Then Amrabat came back to him like a minute later when the ball had gone out of play. He came back to him again and he said, Bruno left, Rashford up top. And then Bruno goes, why? And then Amrabat just like pointed at the manager and Bruno looked annoyed. He was just like, F that. And then he went to the left and Rashford went up top. But you could just see he wasn't happy. And I don't think players are just happy with just being moved around all the time. I think, I forgot Rashford was even playing, guys. I'll be real. There were so many people I just forgot they were playing. There were so many people I was just watching. I was like, for me, the most entertaining thing I saw that game was the sun kept coming out. The sun would come out for a bit, it would shine in my face, and then I'd be like this. I felt like it was summer again. The sun would disappear. I'll put my hand back down. 15 minutes later, the sun is back, and I'm like this again. And then the sun disappears 15 minutes later. Ooh, who they beefing? Oh, there's an argument. Kai Havertz and the Porto manager going in on each other. Kai Havertz is about to get booked. But yeah, that Everton game, I'll be real, guys. I'll be real. It was a snooze fest. It was an absolute snooze fest. I don't know if he'll succeed under new structure, because for me, he looks like he runs out of tactics every game. You know what my biggest concern is? And this is the conversation that I have with people all the time. Like, I have this conversation all the time with my friends who are United fans. The manager always places emphasis on needing the tools to play the way that he wants to play. My argument is, and this is my question all the time, is if you don't have the tools available to you, just why don't you alter the way that you play to get the best out of what you have at that time? Because all we hear a lot, and I can't imagine, I'm not gonna lie, I don't rate some of these players, but imagine always hearing the manager saying, yeah, these players can't play the way that I want them to play. You know, when United are playing bad, when they're poor in possession, when they're poor on the ball, the manager's saying these players cannot play how I want them to play. Okay, we understand that. But imagine how it feels as a player to hear that every time. And the manager's always placing emphasis on needing his specific players, Lisandro Martinez, Mason Mount, whoever it is, needing these specific players to play the way that you want to play. If that is always the case, or if that is the case, why don't you just make do with the tools that you have at that time and utilize what you have to get the results that you need? And this is where I guess the argument kind of always kind of erupts, because then one of my friends is a proper is like Marcel, proper Ten Hag supporter, and he said to me like, oh, you know, well, if Ten Hag changes the way he plays, people are going to criticize him because, you know, he came to play an X style of football, the Ajax style of football, the Ten Hag way of football. But my argument is, we're not playing that anyways. Even when you don't have the facilities, we are not playing the way that you said that you would play. So I would rather you just change the way you entirely play based on the players that you have available to you. That's better. That is, for me, is better. Like, so going into, because we're going to talk about the Liverpool game. I'm going to do a stream later in the week about the Liverpool game, because it's very interesting. That Liverpool game is going to be a very interesting one, because bear in mind, guys, Liverpool are coming off the back of a Europa League game. They're playing Europa League on Thursday, and they're going to play United on Sunday. We are coming off of a week, 8 days break of football. Yeah, we will see what team looks like they played midweek and which team looks like they had a whole week off. We will see on Sunday which team looks like what, because I already know which team is going to look like they had a break, and I already know which team is going to look like they played. We're going to look like we played midweek, because we're going to look tired. We look tired even against Everton. Even against Everton, we look tired. And Everton were not good. No disrespect to Everton, but they were not good. They were not wowing me. I think Branthwaite was all right. Amadou Onana on the ball, not amazing, but he does the leg work, he does the running, he does the nitty-gritty stuff. But for me, it's like, I rated Amadou Onana even before he joined Everton, by the way. I rated him before he joined Everton, but for me, it's like, I can't praise Amadou Onana for the same things that, you know, we trash McTominay for. We can't do that. But this weekend against Liverpool, it will be a very interesting one. It will be a very, very interesting one. Because for me, is like the way that we're playing, we've been playing, versus the way that Liverpool were playing. I mean, Liverpool versus City, what a game on Sunday. What a game that was on Sunday. And that's not even Liverpool's complete team. And all I hear all the time is, we can't play the way the manager wants to play because he doesn't have the players. He doesn't have the play. That's all I hear all the time. I feel like we're actually being gaslit. I'm not joking. We're being gaslit sometimes. Mina, if we win every game left, we win the league, counting City beat Arsenal. This is coming from a Liverpool fan, guys, by the way. This is coming from a Liverpool fan. Big up to Ali. I hate the one thing I hate, yeah, and I say this all the time, is always that if we win this game or if we win this many number of games. I saw a whole like spreadsheet on Twitter the other day that had a calculation of how many games Liverpool have to win and how many. I think they can only afford to drop 2 games away from home. And win, I think, is like 5 games at home and get wins in the other games away. So they can only lose 2 away from home, which is not bad for a team like them. This title, I've said this time and time again, this title is going down to goal difference. Imagine if all 3 teams finish on the same number of points come 18, 19 May, whenever the last game of the season is. Imagine they all finish on the same number of points. And it goes down to goal difference. 3 teams. Between 3 teams, the league could be won on goal difference. And I genuinely think it will be. But enough about Liverpool, because I don't care about them. Let's get back to the real topic of discussion and what we were planning to discuss here. Free my guy Ahmad in it. That's all I have to say. All I have to say, free my guy Ahmad. If he doesn't get an opportunity here, he will leave and go elsewhere. I think there's no doubt in his playing ability. It's very obvious that he can play to a certain level of football. Whether some people think, because some people do feel like he can't play Premier League football, and he might be better off in like lower leagues or maybe in a different league in Europe. Wherever he goes, I hope he flourishes. Whether he gets an opportunity at United or not, I think it'll be very sad for him, by the way, because he came under Oli, right? So he went through Oli, he went through Ragnick, he went through Ten Hag, or is going through. He's on his 3rd manager. He's been here for how many years? He's been here for 4 years, 3 years, and he's already on his 3rd manager at Manchester United. That's another unfortunate situation to be in. Because you never really, it's like Antony Elanga. I was watching an interview Antony Elanga did with Rising Ballers, I think it was, on YouTube. It was a really cool interview. I really like Antony Elanga. He's a very likable person. And he was talking about how you just have to bet on yourself sometimes and basically give yourself the benefit of the doubt when others don't. And he said, and he was asked the question of who's the most underrated player you played with? And let's try. Who do you think Antony Elanga said was the most underrated player that he played with? I expected him to say that name, by the way, because when he was asked that question, I knew who he was going to say. But he said Angel Gomez is the most underrated. He said Angel Gomez doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Number 1. Number 2, Angel Gomez is underrated in every sort of attribute that he has. And he never really got a chance at United. And that's another one that for me, I always say I wish Angel Gomez did get a chance, because I always thought he was a good player, and you see it now. He's doing pretty well, I think. He's been doing pretty well in the French league. He's coming up to the end of his contract. I think next year is the end of his contract, so he might be a free agent. But that's another player who might not be physically big, physically strong, and people said he couldn't play in the Premier League, but he's doing well in other leagues. And sometimes maybe Amad Diallo is in Porto are on the break. Are they going to score here? Mehdi Taremi, don't let me down, bro. For all these years, I've been gassing you up. Okay, no, they did nothing with that. I think this game is going to go to penalties as well. Wow, Zinchenko, what an idiot. He just gave away a corner in the dumbest situation. Zinchenko just came on and he gave away a corner for something so silly. Sorry, guys, I just got distracted for a second. My real plan for this stream was actually to talk about Antony. That was my real plan. My real plan was to talk about Antony. You lot know I like a good article on The Athletic. I enjoy reading articles as much as I enjoy watching videos as well. I do enjoy reading articles. And The Athletic had a very good piece on Antony. I think it came out today. And it was really interesting to me because I'm not going to lie. The thing that stood out to me the most is they did a comparison of his time at Ajax and his time at United. What has, except for the league, what has been the biggest change for Antony for his stats to just tragically go low? For his stats to tragically dip the way it has from his time at Ajax to his time at United. I mean, if you combine his stats over the last 2 seasons at United, it still does not get anywhere near his last season at Ajax. Do you know how funny that is? That is hilarious. And maybe because in a league like the Premier League, I'm not saying the Premier League is the best league in the world on a technical level, etc. But maybe in a league like the Premier League, it's very much easier for your flaws to stand out than it is in a league such as the Eredivisie. And one interesting point about this article, this article is basically talking about, what's the title of the article? The title of the article was Manchester United's 95 million problem. That's crazy. 95 million. That's crazy. And it was talking about obviously his off the pitch issues, but also on the pitch. And one thing that stood out for me the most in this piece was the fact that reportedly even Erik ten Hag has started to accept the fact that maybe Antony... Oh, Arsenal, they got a chance. Oh, blocked. Good defending from Pepe. Erik ten Hag has started to accept that maybe Antony is just not... He's not performing well enough, which is why he's been dropped. I mean, he hasn't started a game, I think, in this calendar year yet. The manager brought him on for 2 minutes on his birthday. This is meant to be his baby. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought Erik ten Hag was like Antony's uncle at one point or something, because the way that he still does it, he defends him so much in the media whenever he's asked questions about him. And what I feel like sometimes, I'll be real, I feel like Antony is a player that has not matured on a professional level, if that makes sense. I think there's definitely flaws that Antony has, but there's also some good attributes he has. There's some good attributes he has, there's some flaws that he has, but I don't think he's matured professionally. And the reason why I say that is because in this article, it alludes to the fact that the reason why he knows he's not playing is because he's not been training well enough. The last time someone didn't train well enough, the manager came out and said it. He came out and said this person was left out of the team because he's not training well enough. Whereas we've never heard that about Antony. Now, I'm not saying I don't want the manager to come out and bash players. Can I just say that? I do not want the manager to come out and bash players. But Jadon Sancho, we know his time at United is done. I saw an article the other day, I'm sure all of you guys saw it as well, that basically suggested that he could consider coming back to United if Erik ten Hag is not the manager next season. But whether Erik ten Hag is the manager or not, I don't think he will be coming back at all. I don't think Jadon Sancho will be coming back. So that's Jadon Sancho we could lose, or we will probably lose. We'll probably lose Amad Diallo. We could probably lose Antony. United will have to go into the market to buy a right winger eventually. Eventually in the summer, they will have to do that. I think when it comes to positions, and we talk about priorities in positions, I think centre-back, for me, like, you lot know my stance. I don't want Raphael Varane to leave. I don't want Raphael Varane. I would rather keep Raphael Varane and sell Harry Maguire. Anyone that says that they would rather keep Harry Maguire and sell Raphael Varane, you are on crack. You are on grade A crack if you would rather keep Harry Maguire and sell and get rid of Raphael Varane on a free. I would keep Raphael Varane, but obviously go out and buy a centre-back. I feel like with Lisandro Martinez's evident injury problems, because he has injury problems, for me is obvious. We have to buy another centre-back. United need to buy 2 centre-backs this season. We need to buy a starter and we need to buy a backup option as well. We need a right winger. We need a backup striker. We need a left back. We need a centre midfielder. Depending on how many people leave, that also I think comes into play with how many people United end up signing. But it's very clear that United have to bring in, I think, about 6 or 7 players in the summer. Some starters, some rotation players. And I don't think there will be a massive, by the way, it was reported that there will be at least 10 outgoings in the summer. I think that's inflated numbers, because I think that 10 includes a lot of academy players. So, the people like Amori Forson, people like Van der Beek, he's not an academy player, but people like Van der Beek that haven't really played. Anthony Martial's leaving on a free. I think that's very inflated, that number of 10. If we talk about how many people we're actually going to sell for a reasonable fee, I think that's where the situation is a bit different. I think that's where the situation is a bit different, and who we can actually say we will get a reasonable fee for. Because I saw a report. I didn't see a report. I saw an article that was basically talking about us selling Antony, and I found out that, and this makes sense because this is how football transfers work anyways, in terms of from an FFP standpoint. Clubs try to recoup however much they would have booked in their financial statement that of the cost of amortization for that player's fee. So for example, Antony, 95 million euro 5-year contract. I don't know what the maths is, but say it's 25 million per year over his 5-year contract. They just need to sell him for something more than 25 million to record a profit on their books, and that would help with their FFP. So that's what they'll probably look for. That's why it's not a big surprise to me if United, like, I know United, I saw someone saying that Jadon Sancho could go for I saw Jadon Sancho going for 60. Well, like, if you not live in a world where United can sell Jadon Sancho for 60 million, let me know what world you're living in. Let me know what world you're living in and where you buy your crack from. Because I don't know how you think United are getting 60 million for a player that unfortunately has not really shown a reason for his value. So when it comes to buying clubs, the clubs that are going to buy him or look to buy him, they have so much that they can argue to negotiate a price for him, because he's done nothing to lift his price up. His price is, you know what, yeah, and this is not even just aimed at Jadon Sancho. This is just aimed at players in general. When they come to United, their price just depreciates. Anytime you come to United over the last 10 years, your price just depreciates. That's it. And Jadon Sancho is another one like that. Antony, for me, his price should have never depreciated anyways, because he was never worth the 95 million. United just paid a ridiculous fee for him. But that should never have had happened. Oh, Porto might be on a break here. Oh, they just give the ball back away to Arsenal. There's about 5 minutes left, guys, in this Arsenal-Porto game. And it might go to penalties. I want to see penalties. I low-key want to see penalties. It makes it even sweeter if Arsenal go out on penalties. We need another right back. I think it depends on if Wan-Bissaka leaves. I think if Wan-Bissaka leaves, we buy another right back. But if he stays or if he gets another extension, I think left back is priority. I think when it comes to the fullback position, I think left back is priority. And it's funny because right back, for years we've been saying United need to go out and buy a right back. For the last 2-3 years, we've been saying we need a right back. And now suddenly the answer is we need a left back. Because Luke Shaw for me cannot go on. He can't go on. I would even get rid of Luke Shaw. Me and Marcel have the argument all the time. Big up to Marcel. We have this argument all the time about whether we would move Luke Shaw on or not. And he's under the impression that United should keep Luke Shaw and kind of slowly turn him into a centre-back option after Lisandro Martinez. I'm just like, get him gone. Just get him gone. There's no way you should be allowed to stay at the club for 10 or so years and have a bang average career in terms of winning stuff. I understand we sucked for so long, but just start fresh. If we have a new CEO, we have a new sporting director, if we have potentially a new coach, let's just start fresh and get rid of a lot of the players that have been there for a long time. Like, I wouldn't be against that. If you told me today the only players United are going to sell in the summer are the players that have had 3 or more managers at United, I'll be like, all right, cool. Because that's half of them. That's a lot of them. That is Luke Shaw, number 1. That is Harry Maguire, number 2. That is number 3, Scott McTominay. I think, by the way, between Scott McTominay and Maguire, I think one of them goes. I don't see both of them going. I think one will stay, because one thing I've realized is people, I don't know if you guys realize as well, because Ollie had a lot of praise for Scott McTominay. Jose Mourinho had a lot of praise for Scott McTominay. Eric Ten Hag has a lot of praise for Scott McTominay. There is something that Scott McTominay's doing behind the scenes that is the right thing that he's doing. He's doing something that's the right thing. And that's leaving the impact on these managers that make them feel like he'll run through it. I think what it is that Scott McTominay makes managers feel like that he will run through a brick wall. Pepe is 41. Wow, Pepe is the same age as my brother. Yeah, I can't believe that, guys. I can't believe that Pepe is the same age as one of my brothers, and Pepe is still playing football. It's crazy. It's actually good. That's what we talk about. Cristiano Ronaldo still playing at top flight level. Yeah, Pepe is still playing, not even top flight football. Pepe is playing still in Champions League football. He's playing Champions League football. That is absolutely unreal. That is unreal. Obviously, there's still, and it's funny because there's still people that he played with at Madrid that is still playing. Sergio Ramos is still playing. There's still a lot of them, but they're not this age that Pepe is. They are not. And Pepe has been rock solid, by the way, in both legs. He has been rock solid. I'm not saying that he's shown Saliba and them levels, but he's shown Saliba and them levels. He has shown them levels. Why waste money for new players with no Premier League experience? Well, that's an interesting argument because we brought quite a few players from outside of the Premier League. I don't think the general consensus all the time is you have to have come from the Premier League or have Premier League experience. Now, if you see right now, all the players that we're linked to under Ineos are Premier League players, except for João Neves, Elise and Branthwaite is the two players that I've been hearing the most, and that's the two that we've been linked to the most. That's two players Premier League experience. Premier League experience. The only thing I have about Branthwaite, no disrespect, yeah, I have PTSD from signing a centre-back from a lower league team after we signed Harry Maguire. Now, there's reports that they're looking for 100 million for Branthwaite. There's reports that is 75 million. There's reports that United are not willing to pay more than 50 million. So if Man United managed to buy Branthwaite, oh, they blew the whistle straight away. It's going to pens. It's going to penalties. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Oh, this is going to be interesting, guys. I might have to do a mini watch along for like 5 minutes while it's penalty shootout. Diogo Costa, I rate him. I rate Diogo Costa. David Raya, I hope he has a howler right now. I hope. Who do I want to miss their penalty? Who do I want to miss their penalty? I like Declan Rice. I like Declan Rice, so I don't want him to miss his penalty. Who do we want to miss their penalty, guys? Saka? I like Saka as well, man. That's the annoying thing. Jesus will miss. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if Jesus misses, you know. I hope Taremi doesn't miss. Otherwise, he'll just come and just disgrace me right here. Live on stream. He's about to disgrace me. I don't know. I have to see who the penalty takers will be. I think Trossard will score. I think Trossard will score his pen. I think Odegaard might miss his pen. Oh, David Raya's going to the bench they're giving him an envelope with all the names. Oh, they're giving him a sheet of, is that the sheet of where players usually go? Yeah, both teams are doing it. They're looking through the sheets. That's crazy. You have to be prepared for any kind of possible situation in a knockout game. So you have to come ready for it. Imagine if you didn't have your paper with penalties. Imagine you didn't have the paper with the penalty, so you're just left to guess every penalty. I'm gonna say 2 Arsenal players miss. The pressure. If Saka steps up for a penalty, he's missing because Saka to me looks like he's been playing a bit shaky all game. Both goalkeepers in class right now. Literally. Class is in session. They're doing their revision. They're quickly doing their revision. Sorry, guys. We're going to get back to the United talk in about 5 minutes because I got to pay attention to this penalty shootout. I've been talking trash to my friends who are Arsenal fans, literally. Look what I messaged in the group chat. This was earlier, yeah. I said, how are you guys struggling to score against Porto, you dead team? You're just there to make up the numbers. Obviously, half of my friends some of them are Arsenal fans. Someone was like, in the spirit of the holy month, Mina, I would kindly ask you to refrain from commenting on a competition you are not part of. Thank you very much. All right, let's go, man. If it was United, I'm sure Erik Ten Hag and his crew will pull out their imaginary paper. Yeah, they would. Costa, I got faith in you. I got faith in you. Let's get it, man. Guys, I already said it. I've said it here. 2 Arsenal players missing. 2 Arsenal players are missing their pen. Who was it that knocked him out of Europa League last year? It was Sporting, right? It was Sporting that knocked them out, right? Was it on penalties? I can't remember if it was penalties or if it was just it was a goal that they conceded in extra time that knocked them out. Big up to everyone in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button. I promise you, we will be back with the United talk straight after. We'll be back with it straight after this game. I can't see Arsenal. Guys, I don't like seeing Arsenal fans happy. No disrespect to any Arsenal fans, but I don't like to see any opponent happy when we're not doing good. I'm not gonna lie. When United are crap, I don't like seeing other people. When I was watching the City versus Liverpool game, yeah, all I could think was, wow, this is what it's like to watch competitive football. Wow. Wow. Look at Pepe, 41 years old, bro. 41 years old. Crazy. Odegaard's missing. Who else is gonna miss? Their penalty, miss his penalty. And I will say, I want to say Saka, but I don't want to be bad because I like Saka. Saka's probably one of my favorite players outside of Manchester United. If we were to pick one player from each team that I like, I would say Saka is probably my favorite player from Arsenal. It's between Saka or Saliba. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Gabriel doesn't get enough respect, you know. I feel like Gabriel doesn't get enough respect. Big up to Adam in the chat, says big up Mina and all, big up. Keepers just, by the way, guys, if you lot are, what is that he's got tattooed on the back of his neck? 13/08/21. What happened on that day, David Raya, for you to have that written on your neck? Is that your wedding anniversary? Is that when your child was born? I want to Google it. Why David Raya's tattoo? I want to know what is the story behind that. Apparently, it references the Gunners' defeat to Brentford back in 2021. What? Nah, he couldn't. That simply can't. It can't be because of that. No, that's the day that they beat Arsenal. Brentford beat Arsenal. Nah, that's fake. It must be someone's. No, that's a joke, guys. I know it's trolling, but every article is saying that's the purpose behind it. Oh, that's the day of Brentford's Premier League debut. So that's probably when he made his Premier League debut. And it's just a coincidence that's the day they beat Arsenal. Nah, that's jokes. I don't know if it's true, but that's what the internet is saying. He wasn't playing. No, he played for Brentford then. He played for Brentford. Anyways, Odegaard stepping up. Remember, guys, you might be like a few seconds ahead of me in it. Odegaard stepping up. He's going bottom corner. He's going bottom. Yeah, he's done it. Damn. Okay, I'm wrong already. Gabriel has big Kelly Rowland energy. He's got Beyonce next to him. That's true. He's got Beyonce next to him, but people will only realize how good he is when the band breaks up. That is the funniest comment ever. That comment made me laugh. Porto, let's go. If Taremi steps up for a penalty and he misses, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Costa, I'm gonna need you to save a penalty or two. Like, please, bro. Just one penalty. If you can save one, that'll be okay. If you save two, even better. Even better. Let's go. First Porto player, he's gonna have a dead run up. Oh, what is this run up? And he buries it. He buries it. I hate when, guys, you know what I miss? I was watching the United versus Chelsea penalty shootouts from the 2008 Champions League the other day, yeah? And I was just watching the run-ups. And you know whose run-up I liked? Giggs. That guy just ran up and bam, he smashed it in straight away. None of this stupid nonsense of running up and doing a stutter step. Nah, he just ran up and bam, took his penalty straight away. That's what I miss. Kai Havertz. 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz won't score again. I'm joking. I hope he don't score. I hope he doesn't score. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, bro, hold on. Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. David Raya is going wrong way every time. Do you think he misread the instructions, guys, where it says this player is going to the right? Maybe he's thinking it's my right, not their right, and he's going to the wrong way every time. Because both Arsenal players have gone to the right, to the goalkeeper's left. He's going the opposite. Surely it must be wrong. Surely the paper that he read is wrong, and he misread it. Penalty number 2. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my days! David Raya makes the first save of the penalty shootout. Oh my god. I don't like seeing these players happy. I don't like seeing the fans happy. He makes the save. Does he make the save or does it hit the post? Oh, he did. He makes the save and then it hits the post and it hits. He's lucky it didn't hit his back and then it was the back of his head and then go in. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo. Go on then. Go on then, Bukayo. He's been nervous all game, I'm not going to lie. He's been nervous or he's been playing a bit shaky. Run up. Oh, what a pen. What a penalty from Bukayo Saka. That was a good penalty. Keeper didn't stand a chance. That was a bullet. That was a bullet. Look at that. Well, the keeper didn't even bother diving. The keeper didn't even bother trying to dive, like, committed 100%. That was too much. That was too much. Oh, this penalty shootout is done, man. I don't see Arsenal missing than one of the next 2. I don't see that. Hurry up and let this penalty shootout end so then I can just go about my business. Oof, that's a good pen. That's a good penalty. That's a good penalty. David Raya is going the right way, guys. And Diogo Costa is going the wrong way. Diogo Costa is going the wrong way every time. David Raya is going the right way every time. It's interesting. Who's stepping up next? Declan Rice. Declan Rice stepping up. He's going to score this one. He's going to score. If he scores this, penalty's done, innit? The shootouts is done. Oh, no, they have to score their 5th one. They would have to score their 5th one. Wallahi, Diogo Costa, you are crap, mate. Diogo Costa, what is going on? This guy has gone the wrong way every time. Sort it out. Sort it out. Whatever Diogo Costa was reading on that paper was nonsense. The guy was not reading anything of value because he's gone the wrong way every time. What was he reading on that paper? Oh my days. What was he reading, man? This guy has to score this penalty for Porto to stand a chance. For Porto to stand a chance, and in the hopes that Diogo Costa could save the last penalty, which I doubt it, he has to score this one. If David Raya makes a save, he might be man at the match. He might be man at the match if he makes a save. Don't do no nonsense, run up. Wallahi, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is a joke. Whatever was on the piece of paper, yeah, that Diogo Costa was reading the instructions from, that was horrible. That was horrible. Because the way that Diogo Costa went for every penalty, they went to the wrong, they went the other side. He misread it. Wallahi, guys, I pay you any money. Diogo Costa, yeah, was looking at the sheet and it said Saka right. So he went to the right. But he doesn't know if the paper's saying his right or the player's right. But shout out to David Raya. He made 2 good saves. Went the right way for most of it. The manager's not having it because he's having a go at Arteta about something. He's having a go at Arteta about something. I can't imagine what it's like. Guys, imagine just being in the Champions League and your team gets through to the next round in penalties. Imagine the adrenaline rush. Anyways, let me just turn it off. What are they beefing? Are they beefing? Are they beefing? Oh, they're beefing. Oh, I was just about to turn it off. But the coaching staff are trying to get them in. The coaching staff is literally shooing all of Arsenal away to get them into the dressing room. Who's that? Diogo Costa is running after people. Instead of you to be... Why are you running after people, bro? Go save some pens. Go save some pens. All of that for what? Shout out to David Raya because he got it inch perfect pretty much 3 penalties he could have saved. He saved 2, could have saved 3. Oh well. Oh well. Happens. It happens. Shit happens. Excuse my language. But back to the more relevant stuff. I can't, guys. I told you I'm bad luck. I bet you any money if I didn't watch that penalty shootout, Arsenal might have lost. If I did not watch that penalty shootout, guys, they would have probably lost. But back to the topic of discussion that we were originally having. Free Ahmad. Antony can go. Sancho is not coming back anytime soon. I'm going to let me put this up on my screen if it allows me to, because I want to show you lot this interesting stat, which kind of, for me, I think explains why Antony plays for United or plays more ahead of other people. Oh, there it is. Where is it? Where's it gone? The stat that I was looking at. Here it is. I can't believe, guys. I can't believe a winger gets praised for their defensive work. That's what makes me laugh a lot, that a winger gets praised for their defensive work. But in the final third, look at Antony's high ball wins in comparison to players that probably play more than him and play more consistently than him. He has the highest number of high ball wins per 90 minutes. And you know me, guys, I don't like the whole per 90 minute stats. I'm not even a big stats person, honestly. I'm not really a big stats person. But this is interesting to me because maybe Antony should just be a defender. And I know I laughed at so many people when people kept saying play him at left back, because I don't think he has the discipline to play as a fullback. But I don't see why, for a player that is, in a couple of weeks, it will be 1 year since he scored in the Premier League. Can you believe that? 1 year. This entire season, he scored 1 goal. And that was against Newport County. I think they're in like the 3rd or the 4th tier of football. Newport County, he scored a goal and tried to pull out his dead celebration. In a couple of weeks, it will be 12 whole months since he scored or assisted in the Premier League. He could possibly end the season with 1 goal in all competitions this season. 95 million, 200k plus salary a week. That is injustice. He still gets the go ahead in some games over Amad Diallo. And they are 2 different players, by the way. I think they are 2. I could sit here and be like, Amad offers this, Amad offers that. Antony, I don't know what the hell he offers. But what he offers off the ball, I think, is the reason why, unfortunately, he starts ahead of other players, or he gets the call up or comes off the bench ahead of other players, which is not an excuse to me. And it's very evident that Erik ten Hag is a fanboy of him. It says it quite here. It says it right here. That is partly why, despite dropping Antony, Erik ten Hag is still in his corner saying, we will support him, absolutely, all staff. As a manager, I support him and have 100% belief in him. And I think this is maybe where the frustration from other players come from, because the manager will openly come out and back Antony. But in that same breath, the manager will also say that his players can't play the way he wants them to play, which is why we don't play well. Imagine that. Imagine having a manager. Say you're a player that plays for Man United, yeah? And this is not me, by the way, making excuses for any of the players, because I think they are full of dog. I was about to swear. It's Ramadan. Let me not swear. They are full of nonsense themselves, right? But imagine having a manager who will come out and back the crappiest player in the team consistently, because and I feel like Erik ten Hag has an obligation to do that because he brought in Antony. If it was anyone else, I don't think he would have to do that. But I think it's because not only did he bring in Antony, but he made United pay big bucks for Antony. So that to me is another reason why I think Erik ten Hag comes out and publicly supports him. But imagine Erik ten Hag will say, I support him and have 100% belief in him. But in that same breath, Erik ten Hag will say that he cannot play the way that he wants to because the players that he has cannot do that. That's sad. That, for me, is actually quite sad. And this is a hill I'll die on all the time. if you do not have the players to play how you want to play, then play in a way that will bring out the best in what you have. That shows to me you are adaptable. You can change in circumstances. Depending on the circumstances, you can adapt. But when you can't do that and you just use that excuse all the time with, oh, I don't have the players to do X, Y, Z, so I can't do that. For me, that's disappointing. That is very, very disappointing. I saw some more analysis. This time, shout out, I think it's called Opta Analyst. They have some good articles as well. If you're ever looking for good analytical articles to read about players, etc., definitely have a look at it. And I saw something that was a lot more. It was a bit comparative of Antony's first season, at first 2 seasons at Manchester United, and then his 2 seasons so far. His 2 seasons so far at Manchester United, and then his last season he spent in the Eredivisie. And when it came to the amount of touches he had way less. He's had way less touches at Manchester United in specific areas in comparison to at Ajax. Now, I know it's difficult to compare like for like because it's 2 different teams, 2 different setups, 2 different leagues, two like different types of opponents. So that is completely understandable. But when you look at, let me just show you, look, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, this guy is really a one-trick pony. Bro is really a one-trick pony. Let me just zoom out a little bit just so that you lot can see it a bit better. The top is Antony in open play touches in the Dutch league, 21-22. So that was his last year at Ajax. And then the bottom is 2 seasons at Manchester United and his open play touches. And you can just see the dip in numbers, in involvement, in touches. And this is 2 seasons combined versus 1 season, which for me is not even fair to compare the two but that just shows you how much less touches he's having in general. You can see where he's always been the bigger threat, which is always around this area here where he gets the most touches. But you can also see, he has more touches in our own half in comparison to his time at Ajax. You can see that. And also, what you see the most is bro does not go anywhere else in the pitch, which of course you don't want him to. He's a right winger, and there's no reason for him to be on the left-hand side. But this is just so telling. So telling. Zayn Messi's here with the super chat saying, come on, you Gunners, Champions League is ours. Zayn, I don't think you really believe you're going to win the Champions League. I don't think you really believe it. I think you're just saying it. I always say, if you really mean it, send a £100 super chat. If you genuinely think, you said to me, Arsenal's the next dynasty. I said to you, send a £100 super chat if you genuinely think that. I said to you, if you really think you're winning Champions League, send a £100 super chat. You ain't never done that. So in my eyes, you don't really believe it. You don't believe it. If you're going to say it, like Herb Green said, say it with chest. Say it with chest. But back to the topic regarding Antony. This for me is quite interesting because it actually just shows the main root of the problem at Manchester United. Yeah. Erik ten Hag wants players that play in a way that he had at Ajax. And this is a perfect example of it. Garnacho, if I was to see Garnacho's open play touches, I bet you it would be nothing like this. Whereas Antony has pretty much played in a similar way, how he did at Ajax to how he is at United. It's quite consistent how he's been playing. And maybe that's one of the reasons why he gets the nod ahead from other players as well. Maybe that's the case. Do I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it. You don't know where I stand with Antony. I think he should get sold immediately. Even if Erik ten Hag stays in the summer, I think he should get sold. But I think the difficult part is going to be trying to offload him. I mean, 200k a week in wages and then trying to sell him for a reasonable fee. I think United will get 25 million for him max. 25 million max. And that's me being awfully nice. Oh, I accidentally just got rid of myself on the screen and there you go, I'm back. That's me being nice, guys. 25 mil max. if Antony was on COD, he would be a corner camper blending into the dark background when you walk in. Antony would do what I do sometimes when I'm just overwhelmed playing COD, right? I got a skin in COD that basically in the dark you can't see it. I just hide in bushes. That's my favorite thing to do. I hide and I lay in bushes and I just kill people as they walk past. That's when I don't feel like playing properly and I feel like just messing about. Big up to Sebastian, says, big up Mina, wish you a blissful day of Ramadan tomorrow. I appreciate it, Sebastian. And big up to everyone who is still fasting, depending on what part of the world you're living in. Big up to all of you lot. Listen, man, you lot know what it is. As I've said, during Ramadan, I will be doing daily streams 10 p.m. UK time. The reason why I'm doing that, Ramadan has a big impact on your schedule. Ramadan has a big impact on your daily schedule. And when we break our fast, by the time I go, by the time I break my fast, by the time prayers are done, all of that, 10 o'clock is just the reasonable time for me to do it. It's just a reasonable time. I'll be energized. If I was to do a stream in the middle of the day, guys, I'll just be sitting here like this. I'll literally be sitting here like this with no energy whatsoever, probably complaining about the lights, saying the lights are hurting my eyes and that I've got a headache or something. And I don't want to put you lot through that torture of having to listen to me complain about a headache and other stuff for a whole hour. So it's just more reasonable for me to stream every day, 10 o'clock. 10 p.m. UK time. So I apologize to people obviously in other time zones who might not be able to catch it all the time, but I will try to do streams earlier in the day, maybe once in the week. I might try to do one at 4 o'clock or maybe 3 o'clock, something earlier for people in other time zones. I can't guarantee that will be an energized stream. I will be back as well, obviously, on the weekends with the Vibe Alongs for the women's team. I haven't done one for a minute. I will do one this weekend on Sunday. That will be before the men's game as well, so we can chop it up for a few hours before the men's game. Of course, I'll do a stream after the Liverpool and Man United game. A lot of stuff. We got a lot of content coming. Marcel will be back this week. The Mina and Marcel show. Still haven't got a name for that, but that will be back this week. And of course, we're going to have a preview for the Liverpool game as well. So as I promised, guys, every day, 10 p.m., we will be here. We will be here. Big up to everyone in the chat. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening. I'm saying evening, it's actually night. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. Going to keep drinking my water, all of that kind of stuff. I hope you guys, if you're fasting tomorrow, I hope you have a good day of fasting. If you're not fasting, then I just hope you have a good Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. Should I do a watch along? No, I can't do a watch along. I just realized I can't do a watch along. I'll be back tomorrow, 10 p.m. UK time. You lot know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. As always, guys, it's your girl, Mina. Peace.